Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out Home, a unique horror adventure by Benjamin Rivers. Thank you for telling me that on the title screen. This game just came out today on the PlayStation Store and I actually managed to beat it while I was waiting for Binding of Isaac Rebirth to come up. So, I don't know if I can actually give you... I don't know if this counts as first impressions because again, I have beaten the game once, but there is more to it than what I've seen, but I don't really want to go and see what else there is to see, but anyway. We're going to play. I'm going to try and not play through the entire game because, yeah, it is a bit of a game where you see most of it once and then you've basically seen all of it. So, yeah, anyway, we'll just start a new game because why the hell not? So we'll just go through these text boxes. This game does have a fair few text boxes. You'll be doing a lot of reading. Some of you might think this looks similar to Lone Survivor. You'd be right. This does look very similar to Lone Survivor, and it's a similar sort of thing as well, where you've got no real memory or understanding of what's going on around you, and you have to go and actually examine the area around you. And some stuff, yes, can be examined more than once, so you kind of want to be careful about that. Hello, cat. So the idea is you go around these areas, you examine them, you look for things to tell you about what's going on. Capture Kid almost did a fart there, but it seemed to recover pretty well. You get the opportunity to look at some stuff. Every now and again, you get the opportunity to make some decisions, and these decisions do affect the way the story turns out. And other than that, there's really not that much else to this game, to tell you the truth. This is pretty much all you're doing the entire game. You're wandering around these areas, examining objects, reading text boxes, and just trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Throughout the entire game, there's no combat of any description. The puzzles are very, very simple. And there's not really much else to it, to tell you the truth. You're just experiencing the story. I wouldn't exactly call it a game. I mean, there is a lot of debate about what a video game is, just by the definition of the words video and game. Some people would call it... some people will call Home a video game. But I don't think I would, not by my standard. I mean, there is interactivity, and it does tell a story, but there's no challenge, there's no way to fail. So I wouldn't really call this a video game in my viewpoint. Capture Kit just died. This is more annoying than... Oh, there it goes. That's more annoying than you might think. So, it is meant to be a bit immersive, and I will agree, he has done a decent job on the sound design, and if you're wearing headphones, it'll probably hit home more than if you're using the speakers. He does recommend you use the headphones more than the speakers. But again, I wouldn't really call this a game per se, because again, I define a game by the lack of failure state. This is more interactive fiction, more or less. There are decisions you can make that can change the ending. And there is a reason to play through the game multiple times. You can... It is possible not to get the full story the first time through. I think it is possible to complete the game completely on your first go-through, but you do have to go through the game several times in order to actually complete it and get all the trophies and all that. But really, if you want a game that's a bit more gamey to it and gives you a little bit more, like, content, you probably want to go for Lone Survivor. Lone Survivor has a similar sort of theme to it, where there's a guy trying to figure out what's going on and also trying to escape from a city full of zombies, and he's possibly having schizophrenia, and this game, if you can call it that, doesn't really do that much to... Doesn't really do that much to actually excite in any way. There's never really that much danger. And it's just a bit dull, to be perfectly honest with you. It feels like it's riling up a twist that never comes. At least in my personal opinion. I mean, there is a twist to it, and there's probably a twist on that twist that I haven't experienced, but, you know, I don't know. I haven't actually tried to completely unravel the story yet. But it really is just a little bit dull, to tell you the truth. I imagine there are some sort of people that would actually enjoy this sort of game, but I'm not really in that group of people. I like games with a sort of failure state, or at least a way to screw up in them, and maybe if there was a way to screw up in this game, it might give me a little bit more of a, ooh, this is actually kind of impressive edge, but can't die, and you just go through this story ever so slowly, trying to figure out what's going on. And I don't really want to go any further, because it's spoiling what little of the game there is. You can finish this game in like 45 minutes. I actually had to look up the solution, because I missed an object that I could have picked up. But yeah, you can't fail. There's no red herrings. Everything you pick up has a use to it. It's just, yeah. It's one of those games. Thankfully, it's actually fairly cheap. I mean, the game only does go for like an hour. Like, there is a full walkthrough on YouTube that's 45 minutes long, so that's pretty much how long it is. So, this game is $3 on the PlayStation 4 and the PS Vita. You'll get both versions. So, whether or not you think that's worth it, I'll leave it up to you, but this is definitely not my thing. I definitely prefer something like Lone Survivor over this, because Lone Survivor definitely has a bit more kick to it with the way it handles things, and it actually builds up to something. This game doesn't really seem to. Broken ladder there. I can actually choose to jump down here, I might as well. Yay, I can actually do that. But yeah, you've been watching this video. This is pretty much all the game is, ladies and gentlemen. If you like this sort of thing, go for it. $3, not much. You'll get an hour or so out of it. If you want a horror experience that's more... what's the word I'm looking for? Thoroughly made? No, the word I'm looking for is probably diverse. Diverse in terms of gameplay and stuff like that. You probably want to go look at Lone Survivor. That game might have been on sale during the Halloween sale, so it would be pretty silly to go buy it now, but, you know, whatever. I still recommend Lone Survivor. I thoroughly enjoyed my time with that game, and I thoroughly would recommend it. This, not so much, and also that's kind of annoying. I keep pressing X to make the text skip right to the end, but it actually just skips the prompt altogether, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, you get the idea. The most you'll get out of this game is find object, use it to unblock door. And the rest is just trying to enjoy the story and possibly go for the trophies. If you're ever so inclined, you will need to run through the game at least 3 times to do it. Probably more like 4, but whatever. I can't really... I mean, if you were going to ask me whether I'd buy this again if I had to, my question is no. No. My answer is no, I wouldn't. And I'm just going to cut the video here because this is seriously all it is, and I've probably bored you enough already, so... This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.